Hey guys, welcome to the workshop. So today I want to show you how to make this really simple tool tote that you can use to carry tools around the house that you're working with, or if you're going to be outside, maybe gardening tools. So really simple, very easy, and it's only going to require one piece of wood, a dowel, and some screws, nails. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is take this 6-foot long board and cut it out, cut all the pieces out. So the cut list is actually going to be in the description of this video, but essentially when we lay all this out, measure it out, mark it out, you're going to end up with a very little piece left over, and that is perfect because all of this project will just use this one 6-foot length of wood. Alright, to show you how to measure out the side, it's quite simple. But basically, we're going to take another length that's going to be 12 inches long. And then, while you've got it in this dimension, go up to 5.5 inches. Then take your carpenter square, score a line at the 12 inch. Down here at the 5.5, just do a little line. You don't have to go all the way across, and then do one across the other side. If you don't have a carpenter square, I highly recommend getting one. There are links in the description to it, but if you don't, you can always just measure up another 5.5. Then at this point, you're going to want to find the center of this board, and since this is a 5.5 inch board, it's actually 2 3/4. And then from this point, we're doing 2 inches, so then that's going to be 3 3/4. And then 1 3/4. And then taking the straight edge, you go from one side down to your 5.5 inch mark. Score line. Same thing on the other side. And then all of this gets cut out. And like I stated in the beginning of the video, this is the only waste we have out of this whole entire piece of wood.
So to cut this, you could use a Japanese pull saw, or if you have a miter saw, set it to 15 degrees, and that is the angle that you'll cut this at.
Alright, so for the hole where the handle is going to actually go, we want it to be a 1-inch hole. So using the center line we had from before, you're going to want to go down about 1.25 inches. And right there will be the center point for our hole. So what I'm going to use to cut this hole is a 1-inch paddle bit that you can buy at your local hardware store. Put the center on there and drill down and try to stay as straight as you possibly can. Alright, so the way that all this is going to sit is just like this. We'll take the short piece, it's 14.5, the 16, and the other 16. And basically a 14-inch goes just enough in the center to where this right here will butt up against it, and this will be flush. Same thing on the other side. Like that. You can already see how this is coming together. Now for our dowel, we're also going to want to cut that 16 inches. And when we're done, we'll slip that in there, and then we'll drive a nail or screw in the top that will lock each side in, and that gives you your handle for your tool tote. Okay, so at this point, we're pretty much ready to start putting this thing together. And to put it together, I'm going to use wood glue and either nails or screws. And it kind of depends on what you're going to use this for. If it's something you're going to use all the time, I would recommend screws because they're going to hold better. The nails will hold as well. Even with the wood glue, you're pretty much going to be fine. But I'm going to go with nails or screws, either one. If you just drive right into this wood, you're going to split the wood and it's not going to work. So either pre-drill the screws, or if you have the option, you can use air nails. Alright, so that is pretty much just about done. Now I've got my dowel rod that's already been cut. We ought to be able to slide that in there pretty simply without any major struggle. Both holes aren't going to be exact, which is fine. It actually kind of helps make it tighter for us. As long as you can get them both in. Make them flush. Pretty good there. Now, I didn't put any glue in that at all, because if something was to happen, you could always pull the nail or screw out, pull it out, and repair it. But in this case, all I'm going to do is put a little nail down through the top of it. And all that will do is lock it in place. Okay, so before we can call this completely done, what I like to do is go over this with some sandpaper, mainly the corners. You just want to chamfer them a little bit, which means you're knocking the edges off so that if you were to hit it, you're not going to ding it, dent it, whatever. So I'm going to go over all the corners, all the edges, just round them over a little bit, smooth it up, and all the boards you shouldn't really have to do a whole lot. But once that's done, I'm going to apply some polyurethane to it. I like to use a polyacrylic. It's a water-based polyurethane. It really makes it shine and look really good. Okay, just like that, everything's done. It's got the polyacrylic on it. I actually embossed my nice little logo on it. And I'm really happy with this thing. Now, I'm going to use this thing around the house when I've got little house projects. I'm going to throw the tools in instead of going up and down staircases all the time. Try to get what I think I need, throw it in there. And you could, if you choose to make this out of cedar, you could use this outside as a gardening box. So if it gets dirt and stuff or insects get on it, it's not going to actually be a problem. And you can make it bigger, smaller, whatever you want to do. And so this thing is so versatile, but I'm excited to start using it, and I hope that you are excited with it too. Now, if you did this along with your child, there's actually another video I have that is another thing I did with my child that maybe you'd want to do with yours. And if that's something that would be interesting to you to want to watch, then click the link that is on the video right now on the screen. Just like maybe you did with this. So, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time right here in the workshop.